let's circle back to middleweight because Dana White has finally made a comment and given us some kind of a clue. And the comment and the clue was quite simple, which was just simply if Whittaker is ready, Whittaker will get the shot at Adesanya. Now, you have to look at what Dana said there when he said, is he ready? My interpretation of Dana saying that, and if we were to go back, and the story had a couple of different interpretations, but at one point, Whittaker was offered a rematch with Adesanya, and Whittaker said, I don't want it. Now, I heard Whittaker say that with my own ears. He said, I would not, and I quote, I would not be stoked about it. Now, there was a little bit of smile. There was a little bit of a smirk. It was almost like it was a polite statement when he said it. I want to say that he said this on the hills of beating Darren Till. The point being, I don't know how literal we needed to take Whittaker, but I did hear him say it. I did hear him publicly asked if he wanted Adesanya, and he said a lot of things, and yes wasn't one of them. Now, I only bring that to you because that was fueled by alleged behind closed doors talks where Whittaker didn't want the fight. So when Dana's coming out and saying if he's ready, I feel that that's Dana being very nice to his guy and his former champion in saying, I'm going to go talk to him. I'm going to see where his head's at. And ready doesn't just mean physically ready. It means, is he mentally ready? And it largely means, does he want the damn thing? You're not going to get any more attention from Dana, and you're not going to get Dana to agree to anything faster than if he knows that you want it. He knows that this is important to you. So I feel as though Dana might have been given a little bit of slack to Whittaker. Now, I'm drawing an interpretation based on a couple of words, and I've disclosed those words for you, so my interpretation could be wrong. However, I'm not wrong when I tell you Vettori wants it. Vettori sent me a video yesterday, and I tried to upload this and get this to you guys, but Vettori just came to me. He said, Uncle Chael, I want this fight. He said, Adesanya's been doing everything to avoid me for years. I could have beaten him that night. I think I did beat him that night, but I'm a whole nother fighter now. And I will tell you this much, whether I can beat Adesanya that night or not, I promise you right now, he said to Uncle Chael, I promise you, me right now, I could whip the Marvin Vettori that Adesanya fought. He's talking about he's gotten better, and I could hear this hunger. There was no reason for him to come directly to me other than he wanted me to come directly to you guys and tell his story. And you know what? I'm going to do it because I respect that. And Vettori has done everything right. And Angry Marvin is a lot of fun. Not to mention he's a main event fighter, not to mention a two-time main event fighter, not to mention championship round fighter, not to mention two-time championship rounds fighter. I mean, Vettori is a very interesting candidate. He's a very interesting candidate, and you are going to be left with, if you don't put Vettori with Adesanya, what do you have him do? Do you put Vettori in Till? Sure. Do you put Vettori with Paulo Costa? Sure. You got a few really interesting things to do, or you put Vettori with Adesanya. What do you do with Whittaker? Whittaker's already fought Till. Do you put Whittaker with Paulo Costa, the fight that was supposed to happen before Kelvin Gastelum slipped in here? Now, I know what you guys are thinking. You're not as concerned about getting the right guy in there, right? I'm a former athlete. I see the importance of getting the right guy in there, and I see this hunger in Vettori's eye. I hear the hunger in his tone. What you guys just discovered by me breaking down these different possible parodies is 185 pounds is in very good hands right now. 185 pounds in many ways has never been this deep. And that's before you look to the guys that are going to emerge. Should Uriah Hall get the jump on Chris Weidman, coming off a win over Anderson Silva? I don't give a damn where a guy's at in his career. I don't give a damn at all. You get a win in a main event over Anderson Silva, representing the Spiders' last fight. You get a win over the All-American. You're talking about two generations of world champions. You can't just ignore Uriah Hall forever. I mean, it's one of these things. And my point is even to make the case for my guy Uriah. My point is to make the case for you all of how great 185 is right now. Look how good Gastelum looked 3 days ago, and he didn't even win. Look how good Kelvin Gastelum just looked, and he didn't even win. 185 pounds is nasty. And I do think that Dana said this very politely. I think he was being polite. I think what Dana meant is I'm going to give Whittaker a couple of days. I'm going to call him and I am going to respect whatever it is he wants to do. I am going to acknowledge for him that he has done what he needs to do to get this opportunity should he want it. And if for any reason I don't hear that excitement, I'm not going to embarrass him. I'm not going to call him out because he's done a great job. I am going to move on to Vettori. That was my interpretation. Even if I'm not spot on, I'm close enough and we have the point. It's down to 2. I would like your guys' opinion, though, because I don't know that I completely drink to the idea that Whittaker has done more since losing the belt, losing to Adesanya, than Vettori has done since losing to Adesanya. I don't know that I completely concede to that. It's a very interesting argument, and largely it will come down to who wants it more, and I'm just one guy talking. I imagine that Robert Whittaker, should he speak up when he gets that call from the second floor of a business located in Nevada, is going to make it very clear whether he wants to do that or not. But if he doesn't make it very clear, I will share with you guys, because Vettori made it very clear for me. Vettori does want it. And wanting it's very important. It's what sport is all about. It's what heart and determination and drive and motivation is all about. And we see it all too unoften as of late. We see guys not talking about their responsibility and their obligations. I have to do this instead of I get to do this and I want to do this. And it's very refreshing when you have a guy who just wants an opportunity and nothing else. Just give me a shot to live out my life stream. And I at least can tell you, Marvin Vettori, Angry Marvin Vettori, is that.